Thank you. Just to more mundane matters, I understand from reading in the papers that we're going to have water charges as a result of an EU directive. I believe we have to have them introduced by 2011. Is this correct? Is my first question. If I can have a supplementary question. You went into some detail about NAMA and the banking crisis and the attention the EU is giving, particularly to the state arrangements with NAMA. Another idea is to ensure that no state aid given to a bank in Ireland would give it an unfair competitive advantage over its rivals either within Ireland or within the EU, or presumably within the world. Does this preclude the establishment of a state bank? Would be my second question. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll take the first one on the water charges and the proposal that is under consideration. The answer is no. The EU hasn't laid down that member states should put in place water charges. The context is, and it's going back quite a few years, so I can't give you the exact year, but there was a directive went through maybe 7 or 8 years ago, I can check the date if you want, which was on, recognised that in Europe we've got an increasing population, we've got a shortage of water supplies in, maybe at times even in Ireland, that might be hard to believe. There's also in many countries a problem with the quality of water. So all member states signed up to a directive to conserve water resources and in tandem with that to improve drinking water quality. And I think hopefully we can all sign up to that. It's the Water Framework Directive, that's the technical term. Within that, in terms of how you, so that's the general objective, all member states sign up to that. How you arrive at that was then left as a matter for each member state. And in some cases, they've gone for water charges, particularly the UK, that tends to be the way they've gone. But the means for arriving at that objective, which I think is a great objective to have, is a matter for member states. Okay, so I can get you more details, but it's the Water Framework Directive. Seems a good piece of legislation, but it's more controversial when you come to implement it.
It's a good way to illustrate the way the EU takes decisions, because it doesn't try to micromanage these framework decisions. There's a similar directive on waste. So it sets the broad policy principles. It's left to the Irish government to sort out the details, as long as it's consistent, broadly speaking, with the framework directives, be it social policy directives, waste or water. If the Irish want to set up a state bank, which they have, which is Anglo, that was fully approved by Brussels, if they want to set up a state company in any other area, there's usually no problem, because other countries are doing the same thing. So there's no problem about setting up a state bank. It's a commercial decision. Off you go. So there's no impediment whatsoever. So if they decided to turn Anglo into a development bank, say, it shouldn't be a problem. In fact, that might be a good idea.